Greetings, Commanders! Today we're going to be taking a look at an account that was left behind, a post-apocalyptic server merge arc who is in the remnants of a server that had its biggest players leave, and here's what's left of it. So honk honk, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode.
So you wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit Melt up to get a pink out of.
This is Goose. Goose is a 75 million power player in the Win Guild WinX, not to be confused with Win 888 server. They are a primarily English-speaking guild, I want to say. I know that they share a server on what used to be ALD and CAD's stomping ground. For those of you that don't know, ALD and CAD used to be basically rivals in Season 7. CAD started getting huge. CAD used to be called Pkwy, now they're CAD Queeser. ALD was the home of Bingo, one of the first players to hit 1 billion power. Bingo has since moved to, what's Super Guild? FBI? Yeah, with 66. And CAD now dominates the server. We are in WinX, the number 2 guild, and we are still vying for power. So I contacted Goose. Goose said he was interested in doing an episode of Pimp My Arc, and he said, Melt, where do I go from here? The server's in shambles. I've got a tier 9 account. Point me in the right direction. Well, that's what we're here to do today. Now, we've gone into great depths in certain arcs. We're going to try and keep this one tight and on the money and what Goose needs to do. So if you frequent this channel or you saw my previous episodes of Pimp Mark, you kind of know what an infantry account needs to do. And I know from talking to Goose, he's an infantry main, and his main is Stella. So he's got a 300,000 leadership Stella. He's got level 30 gear, which seems pretty manageable in today's current events and offerings. All of his gears are maxed out. Very nice. And I don't think we're sitting on... Oh, we are. We are sitting on... Oh, no. So close. So, he needs one more... Okay. I'm a fool, but this is kind of your fault, Goose. Okay. So, Goose has 3 3-piece gems. You'll notice he has the 3rd slot unlocked on all these things. Instead of getting 5-piece Andromeda, Sagittarius, and Gemini, for whatever reason... it looks like he's going Gemini, Aries, Andromeda. Okay. And are those all the same Andromeda? Is he not getting the 3-piece? Okay, so he's only getting the 3-piece. Well, I don't know if you know this. First thing you want to do, Goose, on this episode of Pimp Mark, the first glaring issue is that since you have 3-piece unlocked on these 3 items, you can actually get, if you like the Virgo Gemini thing, which is, I think, okay for Stella. Personally, I prefer Sagittarius because Stella needs to hit hard, not more often with Gemini. So I would run Sagittarius instead of Gemini here. So what you'd want to do is go Sagittarius, Virgo, which is an okay build for Stella because she can constantly trigger Virgo over and over. So even though it's only a 20% chance to trigger, Stella continually gets that option when she triggers her Wings of Eternity skill. So let's say the gem build is going to be Sagittarius, Virgo. I like it. Right now, it's kind of a mess. So what we want to do is we want to consolidate this. First thing we'll do is we'll take the pants and the chest piece and just change the Gemini out for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Virgo, and then Aquarius. And what you'll do is because you can get 4-piece Sagittarius by only having 1 Sagittarius in this weapon, and you can get 4-piece Virgo by only having 4 pieces and 1 in the weapon, these count as the same weapon. It doesn't matter. So we'll do 1 Virgo here, 1 Sagittarius here. Then for Andromeda, because Andromeda requires 5, gem slots 1 and... Is it 4 and 5? Gem slots 4... No, let's see. Gem slots 1 and 2, I think. Gem slots 1 and 2 for Andromeda are actually the weapons. So what you do is you do the 1 Virgo here, 1 Sagittarius in the other weapon, and then Andromeda's 1 and 2 in both your weapons. Make sure you get the right 1 and 2, not just 2 1s, otherwise you won't get the 5-piece bonus. But then you put, of course, the Andromeda here, so that these 3 items, the 3 normal items, just have Sagittarius, Virgo, Andromeda, and your weapons have Sagittarius, Andromeda, Virgo, Andromeda. And that way you get all 3, 4, and 5 set bonuses, unlike you're getting right now, because looks like your Sagittarius, your gear's broken up. So maybe you're in a bit of limbo. Maybe you know that. Maybe you don't. Hopefully that helps other players. But as a Stella main with, I think, tier 9, is that what we were saying? Let's go take a look at our research here. Battle research is all done. Come on, be all done. Okay, perfect. And then development research, all done. Perfect. All right, let's go to advanced battle. That's what we care about. Infantry, walker, accuracy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we are stuck at tier 9. So in order to get tier 10, you do have to get advanced infantry, advanced walker, and advanced airship HP all to level 5. So if you want to get tier 10, you've got to get these 3 things. So that's kind of where we're at. We're halfway there. We've still got a lot of spending to do to get there. So he's probably just farming unlimited crystals, pure crystals as often as he can, getting that cash, getting that shadow matter. And he really can go any tech route he wants. He hasn't committed to any of these yet. In fact, it's not really till after tier 10 that you have to start really deciding which one. Because even at this point, all of his tier 9 is equal. And I think that's kind of the dev's way of saying, like, hey, try all the advanced stuff out before you really commit to one tech tree. So even though we're an infantry main now, we don't have to stay in infantry main because he has all the research in basic as well. But I do think that infantry is a great build right now. I think walker's good too, but I think all around airship Vega is still the #1 meta. Penetration still hasn't taken off. So for now, if we're not going to be maining Gilly and we're going to be sticking with Stella because we're still tier 9 on our way to tier 10, we're basically going to be fighting arcs, our level, our tier. We want to stay away from tier 12 as much as possible, and we're an amazing monster killer. He could probably kill Crimson 9 Behemoth with very few losses just by going in slot 2. So, yeah. I think there's a couple things I'd do differently with the gear here. I wouldn't put 2 sets of dodge gear. You're not going to be able to dodge tier 11 or tier 12 anyway with tier 9, so the dodge isn't doing much for you. You may as well put damage in the pants, dodge in the chest. I mean, you're not going for a tier suppression build right here, so keep your tier suppression gear on the side as needed. But get rid of one of these dodge items. Probably the pants. Put Magiwell pants on. Stella wants to hit hard. Also, the Apocalyptor, you're losing a lot of damage here. Level 30 APOC versus a level 30 Titan, even a bad Titan. Still, the Titan's going to have twice as much damage. So get rid of your APOC, get another Titan, fix your gems, put Magiwell pants on. I like the Devastation Helm. I like the Eye of Abyss as well. Since Stella doesn't have a guaranteed hit skill, I prefer the Eye of Abyss, but either one is fine, and he's got the 3rd gem piece in there, so there's that. Something I want to point out, just because you have a 3rd gem piece doesn't mean that the item you put it on is forever locked. You can actually recycle that level 30 item and get back 80% of the 3rd gem. So here's the Devastation Helm, and you'll see that when you go to recycle it, you get 80 Spirit Stone frags. Not 1. You actually get 80 because you have the 3rd gem there, plus the 1 for the energy crystal. So you get 80% of it back. So it's not the end of the world if you do want to change which gear. You do have to destroy the item, of course, but all around, you can change that. It's not the end of the world. I get that question a lot. Okay, so troop-wise, what are we looking at? We got a 300,000 leadership Stella. That's a lot of leadership. And we've got a lot of troops. Okay, so do we have enough for a full march? Oh, not even close. Okay, so we basically have 1 full slot and a half with our leadership. And we could easily take this 300,000 leadership Stella up to 400,000, 20K Rogers, 30K. Another 100K, 500,000 leadership, easy. We've got 550,000 leadership here. And I can kind of see where this kind of reminds me of an account that was stuck in like season 6. There was like Stella and Golem were the best, but then tier 12 was coming, and once tier 12 came, basically Stella and Golem disappeared. So if you want my honest opinion, I think you should dump Stella. I think you should dump Golem. Take your leadership back. Even Dodger Roger now with tier 10 infantry is okay. 20,000 leadership, that's okay. I'd leave that there. I actually like this Rogers build. I'd probably put defense or Valkyrie there. Maybe Shadow here, but a little damage, a little defense, fearless pants. That's a good Rogers build. So I'd leave that. Leave the full metal as well, just to fight Rogers. And then maybe it's just time to consolidate these 3 commanders: Golem, Stella, and Gilly into one. So if you're gonna go the infantry path, take Gilly. If you're gonna go the airship path, take Vega. If you're gonna go the walker path, consider full metal, but maybe consider Moon Shadow or Pictor, or maybe see what Satalia offers us. I have a feeling Satalia is going to be offering us just tier 12 players and above. It's going to be a penetration meta shift, and I don't think a lot of people are there. And frankly, Goose is an 80 million power account with tier 9 almost to tier 10. So he's still kind of in the Stella age. So this kind of all makes sense. But if he grabbed Gilly and he had tier 9 or tier 10 infantry and he one slot busted with 500,000 leadership with Gilly's nonviolent resistance and Gemini and Sagittarius and Andromeda, he would be an amazing one slot buster. Now the Andromeda's not doing much for him. But you could also pick up, Sagittarius, Gemini is what you need. Andromeda's fine. Andromeda's good. I think it has penetration on it or damage reduction. Either way. It's time to consolidate commanders. I'm not going to do it on this episode. I'm going to let him make that decision because he hasn't even committed to the research yet. Otherwise, I would. Let's take a look at our guild. So in our guild, we've got Mantissa. Huge fan of Mantissa. Actually been watching Mantissa for a long time, so shout out to you. Insidious is in this guild. What's up, Insidious? How you doing? And Grizzeagle. Grizzeagle is a Sky Kingdoms and Ark of War player. So you can check out Insidious in all the major Line channels. If you guys aren't members of Line, check the description below. You can message me directly. I will invite you to the Line community and whatever chat's appropriate for you. Start there. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe. There's a lot of good stuff coming. The content only gets better. So if you're watching old videos, if you get recommended an old video, just know that the quality does get much better as time goes on. So yeah, we're working on a new video series to fix that. All right, I jumped into Goose's Time and Space War. Don't forget to hit your mop up every Sunday and every other day as well. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Don't forget to go to your Time and Space War either. You're still going to want this. Remember, you want to get this to 500 eventually. And let's do the release. Then we'll tie this video up with kind of where this account is at right now. All right, guys. No time for comments. We're just going to release a commander, and we're just going to attach this commander to Goose's account. Is there any bird commanders? Oh, Rock.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
All right. Just remember, guys, his VIP is not activated. You need to activate VIP. It is worth it. And you've got a ton of VIP here. Turn VIP on. You could be VIP for the next year and not pay for it. Remember, VIP gives you 22% collection to Arc collecting resources, increases your marching speed, increases your commander heal speed, and boosts your training speed. If you have the VIP, turn it on. Don't forget, VIP is, this is only the $5 one, but the new VIP for VIP 11 is much better than VIP 10. Also, he's doing the red resources trick. That means he just basically, one day he'll use all the stuff up, he'll collect them, he'll have a ton. But, he's still got a ways to go. He's not done with all of his ships yet. He's still got to do a couple of 22-level ships, probably his parts and his cargo hold. Yeah, so there's still a bit of growth there to do. He needs to really focus on that. And let's just talk about the state of this server. I think a lot of people are concerned about what's going to happen to their guild after they either leave or what's going to happen when their big players leave. And the fact of the matter is look at this guild. It's still a solid guild. Right? Goose was a member of ALD before he came here. That's how he got the 3 gemstones. When Bingo left, and CID and ALD were at war in Season 7, and Bingo left this season, the guilds didn't die. The servers didn't die. People took their place. And if we're being totally honest, I was a little concerned that players would start quitting when they allowed this merge thing. But the fact is that players that go to new servers are going to make more and more guilds less powerful. So the more your guild stays together, the better your chances of getting into the top 32 are anyway, because the top 16 guilds might have all the best players go down into 2 or 3 guilds, and which was a competitive guild is probably going to merge into different guilds or be less competitive, and guilds that weren't as competitive will become more competitive. So all in all, it's not the end of the world when your server bosses leave or when you go to a new server. It's just a change in how the game is being played. I don't want to derail this episode into concerns about the migration patch, but from what you can tell in this account and this guild and what's going on in all the other servers, I think it's gonna be fine. At least not as bad as everyone's expecting. So, Goose, you have 4 major things you have to do. 1, you've got to choose which research you're going. You have to commit to either infantry, airship, or walker. You know my opinions, all 3. Based on the commanders you have available to you, I probably think Gilly is your best choice. Considering that your gear already fits well, I think that's a good natural path to go. You do have all the commanders at your disposal, so that's really a preference thing. Maybe what you want to do is wait. You're obviously not rushing to tier 10, so take your time, be patient, keep your eye on the meta shift, commanders coming, and the potential commanders coming. I don't know. Before you do that research shift, or after you do that research shift, then you have to decide which commanders you're going to build up. So as much as I think you should probably get rid of Golem and Stella, I don't want to tell you to do that right away. I mean, you're fine with Stella as it is now. She's great at killing monsters. I mean, if you really wanted to do something and start making moves, yeah, you could eat your Golem and your Stella into Gilly. Make Gilly huge, fine. You could also make your Full Metal huge, but you've got to build a huge army to do it. And right now, pretty much all of your army is tier 9 infantry, right? Oop, wrong one. All of your army is in tier 9 infantry, a little bit of airships for your Rogers. So it's not a tremendous amount of tier 9 either. It may feel like a lot because it's an expensive army to build that much, but at the end of the day, when you start getting tier 9, you're going to pour billions of resources into that. So it's not the end of the world. You can still go Walker and airship and infantry, or Walker and airship, and you're not committed to one research path. So take your time. Think about it. At that point, then you get to decide to do with your gear with what you want. Like I said, you can recycle these and get 80% back if you want to get rid of your Dodge Pants and make them into Maguel. If you want to get rid of your Devastation Helm and maybe use the new Infantry Super Premium item, but you don't have it yet, so you don't need to do that. Valkyrie might be a good choice too. Definitely when you get tier 12 it is. But yeah, you need to grab a better Titan here. Take the one from Rogers, put it on her. Get rid of this APOC, put that on Rogers. Rogers is, I mean, how often do you really use them compared to your main? And then leave the Void as it is. I like it. Personally, if you're going to go Gilly, get Gemini. Don't go Sagittarius. If you're going to stay with Stella, go with Sagittarius because it hits hard and you need that. But Gilly has the non-violent resistance, which stacks with Gemini, which is extremely important. So that's kind of where your account is at. You need to buckle down on farming those monsters. Get your pure crystals turned into unlimited crystals. Choose which tier 10 you want to focus on and kind of ignore the rest. I mean, you've got the pure crystal here. You just need the shadow matter and you just need the cash. So get to farming that shadow matter. Find your friends that have alts that have a ton of shadow matter that'll let you pillage them. Find ships out there and just start robbing shadow matter like it's your business so you can get to tier 9. So yeah, thanks for helping out with the channel. Thanks for being a great member of the community. Thanks for letting me take a look at your arc and showing it off to the world. And shout out to everyone in Win for not doing anything ridiculous in guild chat. I appreciate that. And we'll see you on the next episode.
So you wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit Melt up to get a Pkwy.